Good morning, everybody. Listen, the Federal Reserve wants to issue digital dollars and get control. They want the digital control over the paper currency that they're currently issuing. And President Trump has banned the Federal Reserve from having the ability to be able to do that. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you what the Federal Reserve is trying to do. And I'm going to tell you why Trump banned it. And I'm going to tell you what you ought to be doing this year to make sure you make the most out of your money, and how to take advantage of the regime that's taking place right now. You'll make a lot of money this year if you get focused on what's going on. But first of all, you got to know what's going on behind the scenes. You need to read. You need to not be studying, not scrolling up and down on his phone, paying attention to frivolous stuff ain't got nothing to do with nothing, or getting caught up in a bunch of emotional stuff. You need to read what's going on, find out what's happening. In today's video, I'm going to teach you who the Federal Reserve is, how they were established, and why they want to issue some digital money right now, and why that would be a complete fiasco if that happened. And I'm glad that Trump banned it and that it's not going to happen, because Trump believes in privacy. The Federal Reserve believes in invading your privacy and stepping into your privacy and manipulating you. That's the way they've been doing things for years. The whole meeting that they had to start the Federal Reserve was a sneaky meeting of gangsters, monetary gangsters, not gangsters like Al Capone and stuff. I'm talking about gangsters in suits. I'm going to introduce you to who these gangsters were, how they established this non-federal Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve is not federal. It's a foreign entity, and it's controlled by the World's Bank. And I'm going to tell you why they formed it in the first place, and that was to create the bankruptcy of the United States of America, get rid of gold as the standard, and then pass the debt on to the American people. That's why they created the Federal Reserve in the first place. So Trump is not slow. Trump is a private dude. And when it comes down to this money game, Trump ain't no joke about this money. He like, we believe in privacy, and you will not be invading our privacy. So the Feds made a suggestion of creating what's called a digital dollar. All right. So everybody put NDD in the chat, and let's get this party started, because we are not backing up digital dollars from the Feds. No digital dollars. All right. So everybody put NDD in the chat. I'm going to tell you why you don't want no digital dollars from the Fed. You already got digital dollars because you already have Bitcoin. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is the bomb. It'll make the average one of us rich. Hey, listen to me. We made over 5 million in cryptocurrency in the last 3 years. $5 million without even working. You hear what I'm talking about? And because of the way things are set up this year, we're postured. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all if we make $100 million in Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised. Me, a dude from the hood, a dude from the joint, my friend Chan, the millionaire barber, another dude from the hood, another dude from the joint, us regular dudes eating mayonnaise sandwiches. You hear what I'm talking about? I wouldn't be surprised if we make $100 million in crypto this year, because we're educated men. So we read what's going on. We know what's going to happen before it happens, because we understand the trends. And then we make money based on just having some common sense. All right. So if you're ready to make some money this year, I'm talking about really ready to make some money this year, and you want to be informed about what's going on, and you missed our crypto class, just put replay in the chat, and you get a replay of our crypto class that we did last week, because we have $1 million program for crypto, and then we have a program for everybody. So you probably don't want to be in our $1 million program, because that's for an exclusive number of people. You don't have to be. We'll show you how we made all this money in crypto, and we give it to you for almost nothing. So, but you got to put replay if you missed it, so you can watch the replay. And then it tells you how to get involved if that's something that you want to do. All right. So let me read this, what happened, what's going on with the Fed today, and what President Trump, and how President Trump, he said hell to the no. So here's U.S. President Donald Trump issues an executive order Thursday, effectively banning the establishment of a central bank digital currency, in a move long supported by congressional Republicans. Trump's order would, he said, protect Americans from the risk of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. This is what the Fed is trying to do. All right, they're trying to issue CBDCs, meaning the central bank digital currencies, which threatens the financial system, individual privacy, and the sovereignty of the United States. All right. So let me explain something to you for a few minutes. You all, when you hear about the word United States, people are thinking about a country that's united with people. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. So people are extremely naive, and they don't even know when you say the word United States what you're even talking about. So the original United States was created in 1776. It was created up under the auspices of the Constitution, and it was about posterity and privacy. All right. It was about posterity and privacy. You had private rights, and you had the unalienable rights to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you can create posterity for your families. That's the way it was written. All right. It's an incredible piece of art. The Constitution is. And it created the United States of America, which came from England for the point of getting away from taxation without representation. That's why the Europeans fled England and came to America in the first place, because the king of England was a pimp. And they was like, we tired of you pimping us, and we're not having it no more. So they moved over into the United States and created the colonies, and they created the Constitution, and they created the United States of America, which were not up under English rule anymore. And that's in 1776. All right. In 1868, a Scottish company comes over and creates the United States of America, that created the 14th Amendment, which made people a citizen of the United States, but not a citizen of the 1776 United States of America, but a citizen of company that came in and created in 1868 this fake United States of America, which created the 14th Amendment, which made people a citizen of the United States of America. And we thinking that the 14th Amendment is the best thing since sliced bread, but the 14th Amendment was just an introduction, was the creation of a slavery state of people. So that's how people started becoming slaves to the United States. And the United States started this ploy towards creating fake people. All right. So you say, what do you mean fake people, Brother Ricky? What are you talking about? What I mean is that when you're born, let's go back to the Federal Reserve. So this led up to 1910 when the Federal Reserve was created. You say, when was the Federal Reserve created? It was created in 1910. You say, who was it created by? All right, let me read y'all the people that showed up at the Federal Reserve. By the way, we're going to be in Jekyll Island live. If you want to meet us live, we're going to be in Jekyll Island in May. All right. We haven't put the tickets out yet. The tickets will go out the second week of February. So it's going to sell out. So when we put the tickets out, we just let you know when you get your income tax checked, you want to sign up to come out to Jekyll Island. That's close to Atlanta, and I'll be there. My colleagues will be there, and I'll be teaching for 2 days control. So it's called the Control Conference. All right. So you want to come out there. There are 3 books that you're going to need to read in order to be able to come to our conference, because you got to pass a test to come. All right. You say, dang, Ricky, that's a whole lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Why? Because we don't want people coming out here who are uneducated. All right. Because this is a movement that we have. It's not just me. It's it's millions of people in the United States who are tired of our rights being taken, tired of people meddling in our business, and tired of being broke. All right. Tired of a few folks getting rich off of all of our labor and treating us like slaves. So we're not having it. So we're educated people, and we educated ourselves on common law and found out that I put my money in the bank as a creditor, they got to give me my money back. We found that out. So that's how we live. That's why we got $1 million check from the Department of Treasury, because we had it coming. All right. So when we get out here in May, we're going to teach you all. For 2 days, it's going to be the control conference. You want to come a day early so that you can be ready, because we're going to go hard for 2 days. We're going to teach you how to control your life. We're going to teach you how to control your money, your assets, and your succession. Your money, your assets, and your succession. We're going to show you how to control it and how to keep people out of your business who ain't supposed to be in your business. Your business is supposed to be private. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So it's going to be in Jack alignment. So you're going to have to read 3 books. All right. The first book is my book, Control Everything, All Nothing. The second book is The Creature from Jekyll's Island. And the third book is The House of Morgan, John Pierpont Morgan, the #1 financier in the history of time. All right. So you say, why you got to read those 3 books? Because once you read those 3 books, you have enough education to understand what I'm going to be teaching at the control conference, because I don't want no fans coming out just excited about what we're doing. I want educated people coming out who are interested in their families, all right, who are interested in your posterity, interested in becoming the progenitor of your family, so that you can have generations of wealth coming behind you because you understand what you're doing and you're not guessing, all right? So if you haven't read my book, Control Everything, Own Nothing, just put control in the chat box and we'll send it to you. That's the first book, Control Everything, Own Nothing. So you're doing all that to sell a book? I don't need you to buy no books from me, all right? Get your mind off a little petty stuff. It's just that my book explains the whole idea of control, right? Because I'm a control freak, okay? I don't like nobody having control over me, and I don't like nobody having control over my friends. We are self-governed people. So what I teach you about control is so you can get your brain right and understand that ain't nobody supposed to be controlling you. You're supposed to be controlling yourself. All right. The Bible says if a man would examine himself, he wouldn't have no need to be examined. I believe in self-examination. I don't like being around people and everybody's out of control. And you got to say everything, try to pump people up and motivate people and all that. I'm like, I'm not no motivator. All right. I'm not trying to motivate you to do nothing. I spend my time around people who already under control, want to learn the law so they can become more under control. They had control before I met them. I ain't trying to teach nobody how to get no control. I'm just encouraging people who already have that spirit, just don't have the knowledge. Because you can have a zeal for things, but not according to knowledge. All right. So just put control in the chat if you're interested in that. And if you want our crypto class, put replay in the chat and we'll send that replay over to you. Because last week we put a whole bunch of people on a $1 million path to crypto. All right. So you're going to hear me talking about crypto all year long. All year long, you hear me talking about it. And at the beginning of the year, like right now, all of y'all who listened to me early, you're going to be some happy people in December and January of next year. You see, you create 2026 right now. You don't create 2026 in December. Trying to decide in December you're going to start doing something. You start making moves right now. And the moves that you make right now, next year this time, you'll be like me. It's 70 degrees where I'm at. Why? Because it ain't never cold where I'm at. I'm never no cold weather. Why? Because I do everything in advance. Because I'm under control. Are you listening to me? And it's time for you to get under control. If you're ready to get up under control, everybody put TC in the chat, and I'll finish teaching you what I'm talking about. Who's ready to take control? Let me see who I'm talking to. I'm going to teach you about this digital money, what the Federal Reserve is trying to do, and why Trump said hell no. All right. And I'm going to teach you how to get some hell no in your spirit too. But you got to be a control freak like I am. Who ready to take control? All right. Who ready to take control? Come on, Petey, let's take control together. Come on, Jen. Let's take control together. Cliche, come on, Lamb, let's take control together. Come on. Come on, Beth, let's take control together. Come on. Come on, Phyllis, let's take control together. Come on, Audra. Come on, let's take control together. Come on, Dwayne. Let's take control together. Come on, Kevin. Let's take control together. Come on, Albert. Let's take control together. Come on, Teresa. Let's take control together. Come on, Nicole. Let's take control together. Come on, Sharon. Let's take control together. Come on, Tracy. Let's take control together. Come on, Kelly. Let's go. Roderick, let's go. Come on, let's go. SL family, let's go. Giga, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, Manny. Come on, let's take control together. So I don't want to live no out of control life. I don't want to be guessing what's going to happen to me. Okay. So I want to exercise my rights and make sure I get paid. And I want you to exercise your rights and make sure you get paid. So we will have a conference. It's called the Control Conference. You have to read 3 books. I just told them to you. The first one I would read would be my book, Control Everything, All Nothing. It's not a sales proposition, because if you don't read these books, you can't come to the because if you can't answer them questions, you can't come. Why? Because I don't care. I would rather have 15 people there and we all educated than to have 5,000 people there and nobody know what the hell is going on. I don't like being around people who don't read. I'm like, you don't read, brother. We can't get along with each other. All right. You don't read. You're naive. Okay. And everybody got to explain everything to you 20 times. All right. Our grandfathers and stuff got raped, robbed, and pillaged just by learning how to read. And here we are sitting around and won't read a book. So I read everything. I have my money, my millions I made are very intentional. Nobody can take my money from me. Nobody can tell me I don't have to scratch why I don't itch. I don't have to laugh why I ain't tickled. I ain't got to act like I like people I don't like. I ain't got to smooth up the folk. And I don't want y'all living like that. I want y'all to live a life of dignity, all right? Where you're doing what it is that you want to do because you want to do it based on your own terms, but you got to be up under control for that to happen. You got to get control over your money. You got to get control over your environment, and you got to get control over your succession. Are you listening to me? So let's finish reading what happened with Trump. See, Trump wasn't happy because Trump is a control freak too. And I ain't mad at him. All right. So Trump said, this is to protect Americans. We're talking about the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve wants to issue digital dollars. In other words, they want to come in and they want to mix in digital dollars because they already have control over the paper money. And I'm going to go back and tell you how they got control over the paper money and how this stuff transpired. I'm going to read to you who the Federal Reserve is, where they came from. I'm going to break this history down for you in a second. But first, let's just hear what Trump said. Trump said, I want to protect Americans from the risk of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, which threatens the stability of the financial system, individual privacy, and sovereignty of the United States. All right. He said this included the prohibition of the establishment, issuance, circulation, and use of CBD within a jurisdiction of the United States, he added. CBDs, also known as digital dollars, could in theory be issued by the Federal Reserve and be interchangeable with physical dollars, giving the U.S. central bank control over the supply of the virtual currency and guaranteeing its value. All right. The last thing in the world we want is the feds guaranteeing the value of our digital money. That's the last thing in the world you want. So everybody put END in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you don't agree with me. But if you understand what I'm saying, everybody put END in the chat. No deal. We don't want the feds having control over no digital currency, mixing it in with the paper money we already got, and having control over our life, because that means that they got control over the digital currency. They got control over all of our ID, all of our movement, everything that we do. And brother and sister, you'll be living like enemy of the state. I hear what I'm talking about. So no deal on that. All right, no deal. Who else feeling what I'm talking about? Yeah, you're right. All right, Diane, no deal on that. Nelson, no deal on that. All right, let's go. The Voice, no deal on that. Hula Mix, yeah, no deal on that. Let's go. All right. Radonna, no deal on that. All right. Rodney, no deal on that. Manny, yeah, no deal on that. Come on, Teresa, no deal. I don't want you in my business. All right. I don't want you in my, I just want to relax when I get to the crib. I don't want to be looking at my TV and you looking right at me. All right. This money game is serious, you all. Okay. People are crazy, overpowered, nutty as a box of rocks, and fruity as fruity pebbles. Are you hear what I'm talking about? They'd be all up in your business if you don't do nothing about it. So what Trump did is a show enough necessary move. He said, hell no. He said, it ain't about to happen because Trump is about this privacy. So if you all pay attention to what's going on and you put your money in cryptocurrency this year and you operate out of private trust, you can get rich. All right. Put your money in cryptocurrency and operate out of private trust. And the Trump regime is doing everything the way that they operate is they make it easier for us to get our money back from the bank. They make it easier for us to be able to deal with common law, even though they couldn't control it if they wanted to, because common law supersedes Trump and everybody. All right. See, I don't want no man. I don't even want no president of the United States dictating my money. I hear what I'm talking about. I'm just glad he got enough sense to be like telling the feds, hell no. But because common law supersedes all of the law, the feds couldn't get away. They couldn't go into my accounts anyway because my accounts are private. Your account should be private. But I'm teaching everybody here because all y'all don't have no trust. All y'all might not necessarily afford our prices to get no trust, but you can at least operate out of Bitcoin because that's private, that's decentralized. All right. If you operated out of it without trust, you'd be double private because you wouldn't be paying no taxes. You can buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell because Bitcoin is still taxable. It's just they're just private transactions. Are you hear what I'm saying? So the book is called Control Everything on Nothing. My book is. Just put control in the chat on my book. That's the first book that you need to deal with. Now I'm going to read you some things from out of The Creature from Jekyll's Island. All right? I'm going to read you something from out of The Creatures. Just put control in the chat, that's all. And then the book will come to you. Okay? It'll get sent to you automatically. All right, just put the word control. All right, now let me read to you. Let me read to you the feds and how they got started. Okay. The second book that you want to get is The Creature from Jekyll's Island. The Creature from Jekyll's Island. We'll be meeting in Jekyll's Island in May. Me in person. I'll be in Jekyll's Island in May. My colleagues from around the world will be there in May. And you can come to our control conference. All right. It's not a cheap conference. It's going to cost you a few $1,000s to come. It's not for no cheap people. It's for people that want to get rich. But I don't care, even if you got a few $1,000s, you still got to pass a test. Okay. So I'm telling you in advance so y'all can get y'all money together and stuff and get ready to come. It's not for no cheap people, and it's not for new people who don't read. If you don't read, don't come. It's not for you. If you're not interested in, if you want somebody else to tell you everything and you want to learn for yourself, do not come. It's not that type of conference. It's a conference that's based on people who are like focused on what's going on and want to have control. Control freaks like me. All right. If you're a control freak, put CF in the chat, and I'm gonna start it off because I'm a control freak. I don't like nobody having control over me. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of people telling me what to do. I don't like it. I don't like it. Why? Because when people tell you what to do, then they play you like a harp. I don't like being played. You hear me? So if you're a control freak like me, put CF in the chat. I'm a control freak. I don't mean trying to control you. I don't want to have no control over you. Why? Because I couldn't control you if I wanted to. That's not. I would never try to control another human being. But I sure enough want to control me. Now, you hear what I'm saying? Sure, I ain't about to be doing what everybody talking about doing. No, whatever the crowd doing, I'm going the opposite way. Crowd ain't got no money. You hearing me? The crowd ain't got no money. The crowd always kissing people behind. So I'm like, I'm not kissing nobody butt. I don't like to taste the butt. I don't like it fried, quick aside, sauteed, French dipped. I don't like it. And if you let a person moon you and show you half their butt, they'll show you all their butt. You hearing me? So I'm a control freak. I don't like that. I believe in being respected by people. And I believe in respecting people. And I believe in people treat me in a condescending type of way. I don't like that. And I don't like that for you. So I'm going to read to you how these cats came in and got control over the whole money supply of America. I'm going to read to you who it is. You read this for yourself. You go into The Creature from Jekyll's Island. And when you just read for chapter 1 and chapter 2, you'll have an idea of how the whole money system in America works. This is a wealth channel. How in the world are you going to learn how to be wealthy if you don't even understand the history of wealth? If you don't understand how our country got the way that it is and who's running stuff, all right? Don't be naive. Find out who's running stuff and find out how you can make sure they can't run you, all right? Get in a position of running things. Be the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower, all right? Become the creditor and not the debtor. Are you listening to me? Everybody that's operating as a debtor, you got issues. That's mean that you got limited ability to be able to control yourself. But all of us who operate as creditors, we have 100% control. Are you listening to me? When we go into the bank has to give us our money back because it's deposited as a creditor. It's not deposited as a debtor. Are you listening to me? When you go into the bank as a debtor, they don't have to give you anything back because they're treating your money like it's their money. Come on now. Ain't that out of control? I'm going to put my money in your bank and you tell me, no, that's not your money no more. The minute you put your money into the bank as a debtor, then they become the creditor. Yeah, come on now. Ain't y'all? Don't that make you angry? Are you listening to me? Don't that just tick you off a little bit? The whole idea that you can go make a bank deposit of the money that you created. And the bank say, you didn't create this money, we created it. You say, no, you didn't. I work for that. They're like, no, you didn't. We work for this. They're like, I'm like, what the hell is you talking about? I'm the one making a deposit. They say, no, you're not, because you don't exist. All right. How you gonna make a deposit and you invisible? What you can do is you can go out there and you can work your butt off for the next 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And you can bring your invisible behind in here and drop off our money because it's pimps up and holes down up in here. All right. That's the way the bank is. The bank is the biggest pimps in the world. So but the reason that they pimps is because they all work in association with the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve, these 6 pimps that came and set up the Federal Reserve is some of the pimpingest business people you ever seen in your life. And they've set up a pimping system. They set up an economic whore producing system until they turned us into economic whores. whores sound better than hoes, right? All right. I'm trying not to sound so street up in here. All right, but let me give it to you raw. If you're a debtor, you're an economic hoe. All right, let me just tell you how that goes. You ain't got no control. You're out of control. When you go into the bank, you did all that work for them. You didn't do it for you. You say, why is that, Ricky? It's because they started filing these forms as soon as you put some money in there. They filed a 1099-A that says that you abandoned your bank deposit. They filed a 1099 OID. That means they are the original issuer of your credit. They say you don't exist. You're an invisible person. We ain't got no respect for you. So we're gonna file papers behind your back without you even knowing anything about it, and we're gonna get all your money back during tax season that you're supposed to get, because you're supposed to get your money back that you put into a bank because you are the depositor, which means that you are the creditor. Are you hear what I'm saying? All the forms and stuff that we file are forms that what? That make us the creditor, and you gotta operate out of a trust. You got to have the trust operating on your behalf, or else you're going to be a debtor all your life. So you all send me thousands of messages, and you tell me things like, Brother Ricky, I'm only one step away from doing something. And I say, listen, you either a debtor or a creditor. You either one of the two. All right. And if you ain't got if you don't know what you're doing with your trust, we don't take your trust that you got and try to fix it up. And we rich, okay? And we busy. We ain't got time for that. We already know how to write trust. We know how to write in the right way. And I don't know nobody outside of the people that I work with that ever even got a check. All right. I mean, we get checks. I hear what I'm talking about. We're not sitting around having long conversations about this. So I don't want to have a long conversation with you about your situation. Hey, Brother Ricky, can I get a couple? Can you answer a couple of these questions for me? No, I can't answer your questions. All right. We have a challenge. It's once a month. Come ask your questions there. I want you to think about things. Think about the world does not revolve around you. Stop that. What's going to happen to you is you're going to stay broke because you can't get in the game on this side of the tracks with the people who got the money. We already got the check. We don't even need to come on here and talk about nothing. All right. So I'm not coming on here to talk about nothing for you to drag me into a whole bunch of social conversations. I'm coming over here to tell you where the money is. And then you can decide for yourself what you want to do. All right. And if you want to learn how we do things, you come to the challenge and you sign up for the challenge. And if you ain't been there, put challenge in the chat, because next week is, as we speak, is the second challenge of this year. And man, this money is thick, because this is the only time ever in the history of time that we got a president who said, I want I want to be the number one country in the world doing Bitcoin. So, and that's what we do. We made $5 million in Bitcoin. We're going to teach you that in the challenge. He said he's private. He loves common law. We common law experts. All right. We're going to teach you in the challenge how you open up a common law trust. All right. You said, I don't even know what common law is. Well, shame on you. Right. Because if you don't understand common law, you're going to be a debtor all your life, because common law is the law of the land. All right. It's the law of the land. Common law is not statutory law. It's not the law of the land. But if you operate up under it, then they'll pimp you until you die. And then what? It's only one thing worse than working for a pimp. That's introducing your kids to them. It's only one thing worse than being pimped. That's introducing your kids to the pimping game. It's only one thing worse than being a hoe. That's introducing your kids to the hoe game. Because it can't be a pimping game without hoes. I hear what I'm talking about? Just like you can't be a whoremonger without a hoe. I hear what I'm talking about. You said, Brother Ricky, are you cursing? No, I'm not cursing. I'm just telling you in the rawest way I can, so I can snap you out of this smug state of being out of control, thinking it's okay. I'm telling you, this is not no innocent stuff taking place when you walk in and out of banks. There are atrocities taking place. An atrocity is you if you're a debtor. That means all your money, you just forked it over. All right? I don't care about the desks look nice, and I don't care about people who got no nice suits on. I don't care nothing about how good it smells up in there. I don't care about all that's game. Are you listening to me? Why? Because you are uneducated. That's why we have a challenge. So if you want to get educated, you come to the challenge. I'm not answering a whole bunch of questions. I don't have time for that. I got a life. I got kids and grandkids, and hopefully get some great grandkids. Excuse me. All right. So if somebody from our staff calls you and tells you, hey, congratulations on taking one of our tests or something, talk to them. Get some ideas from them. They got trust in all kinds of things. Talk to them. We are a team, the way that we do things. You don't want to kill no one. Can't no one person do nothing. You can't run no revolution with no one person. I want y'all to think reasonably. All right. You've been taught individualism in school, taught individualism in church. And the only way that you keep people slaves is they got to behave as individuals. Nobody is a slave once everybody start putting their brains together. Are you listening to me? There is no slavery. There's a revolt when everybody put their brains together. The only way that you can keep people doing the same thing that don't make no sense for them is there has to be the spirit of individualism. All right. So everybody put I in the chat, and I teach you the next point. No individualism. Hey, listen to me. I don't like people with that attitude. I'm not down with you. All right. You got this selfish type of temperament and disposition. I don't even need your money, and I'm teaching you stuff you ain't never heard of. And then you over here trying to talk to me like you telling me something. I'm like, you ain't got no money, man. You don't get these checks, and you ain't gonna never get one because you got this individual attitude. Stop tooting your own horn. It's not how this life goes. The way this life goes is things are done together. All right, on purpose, intentionally, under control, concerted effort, a concerted effort as a group of rebels. That's how you get money. Nobody could escape off of the plantations without a whole underground railroad of people assisting them from one state to the next state to the next. Well, nobody running away on their own. Hey, listen to me. Every time they ran away, they said, you meet somebody right here, you meet somebody right here, somebody's going to connect you over here, and somebody's going to connect you over here, and we're going to get y'all the hell up out of there. All right? So I want to help y'all get from out of that debtor state and get over here to the creditor state. All right, that debtor state is the slave of slavery, and I'm a runaway slave. Are you listening to me? And all the people that work with me are runaway slaves. So if you get to know us, then you can become one too, if that's your desire. All right, so let me tell you who these people were who came to the Federal Reserve. All right, how much time we got? All right, let me tell you who these people were who came through the Federal Reserve. So this meeting took place in 1910, and these 6 cats, they got on this train from New Jersey, and the guy who owned the train, his name is Nelson Aldrich. He was a senator, and he was a high-powered cat, and he was the one that was doing all these deals, all these political deals through the Senate. And so he was a Republican senator, I'm sure he was. And his name is Nelson Aldrich, okay? So that's the first cat on this train. He's a partner with John Pierpont Morgan, and he's the son-in-law, and his son-in-law is John D. Rockefeller. These 6 cats that started the Federal Reserve, they represented about 1/4 of the entire wealth of the world. All right. So everybody put TMP in the chat. That's too much power. That's too much power for 6 cats to have. Are you listening to me? Why? Because everybody sitting around here, eyes wide shut, sleep, snoring, in a coma. They don't even know what's going on. It's 1910 now. Now we're in 2025 and people still sleep. So just because I'm giving you this history lesson, don't mean we up on what's going on. That's why I'm teaching you what's going on, because you don't even know who these cats are. Most of you, because you haven't studied The Creature from Jekyll Island. You haven't read the book. All right. I'm not reinventing nothing. I'm just reading you history facts. Okay. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? They say, Ricky, how you get so rich? Because I read. Rich people read. Okay. And it ain't about the money. Well, you want money, but I'm talking about you just get money from reading, because once you start doing what you read, then you got to get money. Why? Because you ain't got no choice, because now you understand what you didn't understand before. So that's too much power. Ain't that too much power? That's too much power for 6 cats to have. 6 cats controlling 1/4 of the entire world's wealth. You say, that can't be, Brother Ricky. You start reading and you figure this stuff out for yourself, okay? So we got Aldrich in here, and he's a partner with John Pierpont Morgan. Then we got Abraham Pion Andrew. All right. He works for the Treasury Department. He's the Secretary of the Treasury. All right. We've got Frank A. Vanderlip. He works for Citibank of New York, and he's representing William Rockefeller. All right. We've got Henry P. Davidson. He's a senior partner with J.P. Morgan. 3 people from J.P. Morgan's camp are there, but John Pierpont Morgan is not there. So you say, why is that? It's because John Pierpont Morgan is the coldest financier in the history of time. John Pierpont Morgan he controlled U.S. Steel. He controlled the railroads. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? John Pierpont Morgan created trust after trust after trust after trust. In other words, he would meet a person. So you haven't read The House of Morgan, and you would know this, okay? John Pierpont Morgan would meet a person, say, you don't know how to run your business. We'll run a business for you, become on a board, become part of your board, have shares in what you do in the form of trust, so that we don't have no liability from what's going on with you. Privacy, privacy, privacy. All right. So everybody put TP in the chat so that you understand that The high rollers operate out of trust, privacy. That's how the high rollers operate. Are you listening to me? You ain't up in no high rollers business. Why? Because the trust block all that. Are you listening to me? Some of y'all living, as far as money is concerned, you just butt naked. Hey, man, please, your stuff just all over the place. Hey, look at the way they treat our boy Michael Jackson, the coldest entertainer in the history of time. 15 years after the brother dead, his stuff just, they ain't got no trust privacy because he had a little poo butt revocable trust, which ain't even worth the paper it was written on. Are you listening to me? A little poo butt revocable trust. And that means what? They're in court right now revoking it. Meaning what? They can come in and say you didn't mean what you said. They come in and challenge your stuff because it's not private. Are you listening to me? Only irrevocable trust. If you ain't got one, your stuff is not private. You are a debtor, you're not a creditor. And your stuff can be dug up from the grave. When you get in the grave, don't you want to stay in the grave? Are you listening to me? When you get in the grave, you don't want your stuff dug up. You don't want people in your business 15 years later after you dead. That's what? Out of control. Are you listening to me? I'm a control freak. Nobody gonna be messing with Shantae when I'm dead. Nobody gonna be meddling with Shantice when I'm dead. Ain't nobody gonna be meddling with my grandson Chris. Ain't nobody gonna be meddling with my grandson Joey. Ain't nobody gonna be meddling in nothing. Why? Because our trust is irrevocable and it can't be changed. You say, what do you mean by that? They can't change no facts when I'm dead. Irrevocable don't mean you can't change stuff yourself because you are a trustee, and trustees are what? In control. The trustees trustees control the whole world. Are you listening to me? If you're not a trustee, you are out of control. And if you're not a trustee of an irrevocable trust, you're still out of control, even though you got a trust. If your trust is revocable, you're out of control. Why? Because people can come in and change your stuff. And the way to live this life is not to live this life concerned about what's going to happen to us, to live this life concerned about what's going to happen to our legacy. And we ain't got no legacy if we out of control. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Control is what we all ought to be. And it ought to be very intentional. So everybody put IC in the chat. In other words, intentional control. All right, come on. I ain't gonna teach y'all nothing else until I see y'all get intentional. All right, who's intentional around here? IC in the chat. I want to see who's intentional. Everything I do, every move we make over here, it ain't no mistake. We ain't do it just by happenstance. We ain't just running around here guessing. All right, everything that we do is intentional. And everything that they doing in this meeting is intentional too. So let's get intentional too. All right, let's get intentional. Come on, Linda, let's get intentional. Come on, Jude, let's get intentional. Come on, Ken, let's get intentional. David, let's get intentional. Come on, let's go. Coach, let's get intentional. Come on, love, let's get intentional. Where y'all at? All right, come on, Sharon, let's get intentional. Lorenzo, let's get intentional. Cynthia, let's get intentional. Albert, let's get intentional. Andra, let's get intentional. They intentional. Everything they doing to us is intentional. That stuff ain't everything that's happening right here. They was trying to create, I'm teaching y'all today that the feds are trying to create a digital dollar, and Trump said, hell no. So at the end of that article, the cat who runs the feds, he's like, oh no, we ain't trying to create no digital dollar. Yeah, right. It's just that stuff got shot down. So they don't want to look bad. So what they say, they're like, man, that's going to be a long time coming. Yeah, it's going to be a long time coming as long as everybody that comes into office say, hell no. See, people try you just to try you and see what you're going to do, to see if you out of control or not. It's just like a dude come up in your crib and the wife look like she ain't enjoying the husband that much. So he say, hey, baby, look like my man over here that he don't really he brought you any flowers lately? No, he don't never bring no flowers. It don't look like he treats you real good. He wrote you any poetry lately? No, he don't write me any poetry. Oh, he don't write you no poetry, girl? You know what? I asked myself, where'd you get those eyes so full of life and far from lies? What does one get eyes like that? I told myself, girl, you robbed a cat. Next thing you know what? Jody got your girl and gone, right? Because everything they doing is intentional. They ain't coming in dropping them little signals and stuff on GP. They coming in because they're trying to pop you woman on. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? And if she first name 9, last name Eve, she a G for it. Are you thinking what I'm saying? So everything that the Federal Reserve does is intentional. And this meeting that they had to create the Federal Reserve was a very intentional meeting, and it was very secret too. All right. So everybody put SC in the chat so that you can understand that it's a bunch of secret control taking place right now as we speak because we ain't talking to each other. So that's why I'm busting everything out right here so that you can understand you don't want no digital dollars from the Federal Reserve because what? They secretly have control over your privacy. Are you digging what I'm saying? So everybody put SC in the chat so you can understand the fact that right now as we're talking, there's a bunch of people plotting on creating what? Some secret control. Now let me tell you the difference between a plan and a plot. A plan means you plan on doing something that's going to help people. A plot means you plan on doing something that's going to hinder folk. And listen to me, it's way more people plotting than it is people planning. Hey, listen to what I'm talking about? Because the plotters are intentional. A lot of planners are just out here, just hunky dory, just ain't, just down with whatever. I hear what's going to happen anyway. Got to get over the hump. I'm like, what's going to happen ain't going to happen anyway. What's going to happen because it was planned, and the plan took care of the plot. Hey, listen to me. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. In the book of Esther, it's a cat named Mordecai, a cousin. He a bad man. It's a cat named Haman. He a little punk. Haman hate Mordecai because Mordecai won't bow down to Haman. Haman represents the state. So Haman go to the king and create a plot. He said, hey man, everybody that want that, he said, we got some people here that ain't doing right by you. And I want you to sign this decree so that we can just kill them all. So like, all right, cool, go ahead. So they signed a decree to kill all the Jews in 127 promises. So Mordecai go to Esther and say, you know what, we better come up with a plan to offset that plot. Because this dude's trying to kill us all, and baby, you're gonna be part of this Holocaust too if you don't do something about it. I don't care about the fact that you fine and that you stay at the king's palace and you got it going on to the break of dawn. When they come kill everybody, you a Jew too, you going down too. So Esther said, all right, cool. Here's the plan. I'm gonna fast for 3 days, y'all fast with me. She said, then I'm gonna go in front of the king, and if I perish, just let me perish. Fortunately, praise God, the plan worked. But she didn't just sit still while they was doing a secret, while they was coming up with a secret plot. She came up with a secret plan. So keep your friends close and your enemies closer when it comes down to this business game. Sit down and talk to one another and plan on purpose what it is that you're getting ready to do. Some of y'all can't even afford the trust that we have because the prices are too high. Why don't you sit down and get a plan and say, 5 of us, 10 of us, we're going to put our money together and buy a trust through Brother Ricky. One of us will be the trustee, but that way we'll start getting our money back from the bank. Once we start getting our money back, then we can all buy a trust. How about that? Is that a good plan? Everybody put GP in the chat. Is that a good plan? See what I'm talking about? You don't just give up because something is not working at this moment. You plan that thing. You sit down and you collaborate and you plan out what you're going to do so that these plotters won't be sitting around getting rich off of you because they plotting. And if you ain't planning, you better get a good plan. So who believes that's a good plan? I'm just giving y'all one example of what I'm talking about. When you hang out around people that's got money, we got brilliant minds. We think fast. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Get around some people that think fast and stop sitting around here just technical stuff. Talking about I ain't got this and I ain't got this and I ain't got this and I ain't got that. Stop saying what you ain't got, because every time you say I ain't got something, you ain't got it. Why? Because I ain't is a strong proclamation that comes out of your mouth. And it ain't even a context. It's a construct. It's something that you constructed. I don't have, I can't. I don't have, I can't. You out of control. Are you listening to me? The Bible don't say that. The Bible says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's what the Bible says. Because the Bible is a what? A book of control. It helps a man and a woman get control. Are you listening to me? Paul said, I keep under my body and I bring it up under subjection, lest at any time after I've spoken to other people, I myself might be a castaway. He said, in other words, I used to be a killing scoundrel that used to just beat the hell out of people and feed people to the animals. He said, now I done learned some control. So when people roll up on me and act a fool and stuff, now I know how to behave. I don't respond to that stuff. Why? Because I'm a control freak. I'm not going to let nobody else control me. Are you listening to me? When a person says something to me, a person says something to you, that's stimuli. Your response is a space between stimuli and response, and you got 100% control over that. Ain't nobody got control over that but you. Ain't nobody got control over that but me. You ain't got to catch no case because somebody's talking crazy to you. Ignore them fools and keep on rolling. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Plan what it is you're getting ready to do while they plotting what it is that they're doing over there. Because if you're about it, somebody is plotting against you right now. If your life about anything, you ain't no different from nobody else that ever walked the face of the earth, and I ain't either. Every man and woman that's having impact is being plotted against. Are you listening to me? Don't act surprised about that. The Bible says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that people are plotting right now in secret about how to what? Keep you as a money slave and keep me as a money slave, keep us in check. We know that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we plan while they plot. Are y'all hear what I'm saying? Everybody put WP in the chat. Are you planning? Come on, I'm putting it in there. We planning over here, all right? I'm putting WP. All right, I'm putting WP in the chat because we planning over here. All right, we doing it together too. We ain't doing no individual plan all by ourselves because that stuff ain't gonna work. It's got to be a we plan, not a me plan. All right, are you planning? Put WP in the chat. I want to know who's planning with us over here. All right, you with us over here? Who's with Linda? You with us? Okay, I'm with you. All right, Zen, you with us? I'm with you. All right, you mommy, I'm with you. All right, Chef Boy, I'm with you. You with me? I'm with you. We working together? Okay, I'm with you. All right, anybody else planning together? I said anybody else planning together. I said anybody else planning together. That individual stuff don't work. We plan, not no me. That me plan ain't working. That plan that you got by yourself is why you ain't got no money. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We plan, we plan, we plan. We WP, come on. Get the atmosphere saturated. WP, come on. I'm telling you what God loves. God can't stand this individual stuff. That's why he don't bless it. Are you listening to me? That's why people can get organized crime and God let that roll because God blessed the organization, even though he don't like the crime. Are you talking about? I'm talking about he blessed the concept of people being organized, even if he don't even dig what they organized about. Are you hear what I'm talking about? That's how that stuff survived for 100 years, 200 years. Because what? They plan stuff. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Well, those are plotters because that's some evil stuff. You dig what I'm saying? So if some people can be doing some evil stuff right now, we all together, why can't we be doing something righteous? Why can't we be planning together while people are plotting? All right. So here they are. And they got this amazing scheme taking place. And so the last two cats is Benjamin Strong. He's the head of J.P. Morgan's Bankers Trust Company. His Bankers Trust Company. The Bankers Trust Company is represented here at the Federal Reserve. And finally, the last guy is Paul M. Warburg, and he represents the Rothschilds. So we got the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and John P. Morgan's constituents all together in one meeting. 6 cats. You say, what's the point of the meeting? The point of the meeting is to create fiat money, to create paper money, to get rid of the gold standard. You say, why is that? Because the gold standard is money that can be measured. It's money that has value. Paper money is something that you can make and nobody knows how much of it you're making. It's not a government entity that they created. It's a private company that they created, posing as a government agency. The Federal Reserve is not a government agency. The Federal Reserve is a private business, and it ain't even federal. Now, is that cold-blooded? I said that's cold-blooded. Everybody put CB in the chat. Is that cold-blooded? That's cold-blooded, man. That's that you can come into a country as a private business and get a monopoly over the money in the country. You're the only company in the world that can issue money to this country. Are y'all listening to me? This is a company. This ain't no government entity. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And they issuing money and they printing money. Who can't get rich when you sit up and print your own money? Are you hear what I'm talking about? With what? No regulation. Ain't nobody even regulating them. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Hey man, if that ain't carte blanche, if that ain't pimping, I don't know what is. That's straight up buck wild gold teeth pimping with a long perm. When I came home last night, that's Rick James up in his piece. Did you hear what I said? Without Tina Marie. That's what the Federal Reserve is. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I'm talking about gold teeth. Straight up pimping, baby. No chaser. No chaser. No regulation. Nobody. They out of control. Are you hearing me? They out of control, but they have control over your money if you are a debtor. They got control over your money because they created money as fiat paper money for the purpose of issuing it to you because it ain't got no value. You said, how did they create the money? They said the money ain't nothing but an IOU. Who did they say gonna pay the money back? They said they made the IOUs out to the United States Corporation of America because I just got through teaching y'all that the United States started out as a republic in 1776. It turned into a corporation in 1868. Now some Scottish cats that came over here and created. Do y'all want to look up the number to the Federal Reserve? I mean to the United States Corporation of America that was created. And y'all take this down. Let me get mine. Well, y'all write this down in y'all notes, okay? All right, you don't know this, all right? This is part of this is a part of a $1 billion tort claim that we got. So y'all don't know nothing about this, okay? I'm gonna give y'all some show. Are y'all ready for this juice? Yeah, y'all ready for the juice? Everybody put juice in the chat. I'm gonna give you some juice right now. You ain't never heard this. You didn't even. All right, so I'm gonna give you. Come on, put juice in the chat. Normally, you gotta come. You gotta be like in the inner circle for me to be talking about this stuff. But I'm gonna give it to y'all because I want y'all to be a mass movement this year. And I believe you'll move a lot better if you got more information. All right. So y'all ready for some juice? I'm gonna give you some juice. I'm just gonna run down the side of your mouth. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's gonna run down the side of your mouth, and I need at least 50 y'all to be thirsty for some juice. So y'all ready? It's gonna be juicy right here. Are you ready? All right. All right. Here it is. So let me read this to you. The Incorporated United States of America. See, the first United States of America, 1776, is unincorporated. All right. If you're going to have some money, you have to become unincorporated. All right, listen to me. Corporation means corpse, dead. All right. Corpse, dead. You don't want to be associated. You say, Ricky, ain't you got a couple of corporations? Yes, I do. I got a couple of LLCs. Why? So I can milk the hell out of them and take all the money out of them and put them into my trust and get super rich. Are you listening to me? So I use my social to be able to get credit. I keep a real high score on my social to get credit and use it to get rich off of instead of it pimping me. I pimp it, it don't pimp me. Did you hear what I said? Ain't y'all tired of being pimped by your social security number? Use that and all y'all got good credit and you ain't even using it? Man, please. Use that social to get rich, then come on over here on this side and make deposits into your trust. I hear I'm trying to get your money back. Are you listening to me? Because you can have both. That's right. You can have companies and you can have a trust. You just don't mix them together. Are you listening to me? All right. Is that juicy? All right. That ain't even the juice I was talking about. That's just extra. That's just some extra juice on top of the juice. All right. So here's the juice I was getting ready to give you. So the first United States of America was unincorporated. All right. And I got 5 minutes. I got to get out of here. The first one was unincorporated. That's 1776. The second one was incorporated. It's a Scottish commercial corporation, incorporated in 1868. And this company went bankrupt in 1906. And y'all are still up under the laws of a bankrupt corporation. Are you hearing me? All right. The registration is held at White House number 2 in Edinburgh, Scotland. All right. Where my sister used to live in Edinburgh for 17 years. Now go to www.delaware.gov. www.delaware.gov. Look up file number 202-5923. www.delaware.gov. File number 202-5923. And you can look up the defunct United States Corporation of America, created in 1868, which carried out the 14th Amendment, which turned people into citizens of this fake corporation, not the country, this fake corporation. So if you are an American, you are not a citizen of the United States Corporation of America. If you are an American, you operate as a creditor. If you're a citizen, you operate as a debtor. Somebody put all mama in the chat, because y'all mama started all that when she signed your birth certificate. So everybody put all mama in the chat. You say, Brother Ricky, you teaching too much. I can't keep up. You know you need to rewind this tape. Ain't you glad that we make it evergreen? All right. It's a training tape. You don't watch a training tape one time. You watch a training tape, you have watching it while you're at work. So what you do is that you take this video, you share it with at least 10 of your friends because they sleep, they don't know what's going on. Wake everybody up around you. Watch it again with your ink pen out and take notes. Okay? And get rich. You get rich by studying stuff. You don't get rich by looking at something one time. That's not how it works. Okay? When somebody is kind enough to come up and put some fat on your head that don't cost you no money, just your time, use your time wisely. If you only watch this one time, you just wasted your time. So watch it again and write down the notes and everything that you got, and then sit down and make your kids watch it and teach y'all today who the Federal Reserve is. And then I'm gonna require that you go and that you read. Part of your homework this week is for you to read Control Everything on Nothing with Brother Ricky. Part of your homework is for you to read The Creature from Jekyll Island. And part of your homework is for you to read The House of Morgan. Those are the 3 books. If you just read these 3 books, you ain't got to read no 100 more books. Just get these 3 books in your spirit. My book will help you get the idea of control and what that means privately. All of what I just got through teaching you is in The Creature from Jekyll's Island. All right, you can read that for yourself. And then The House of Morgan will clearly blow your mind as to why people that have trust run the whole world. Those 3 books. So if you want to come to our thing that's coming up, to our control conference that's coming up, tickets are going on sale the second week in February. You'll start seeing a bunch of ads for it and all of that. You have to have read those 3 books. I'm gonna tell you the particular chapters. You don't have to read the entire books. I'm gonna give you the particular chapters that you want to read. But I'm just letting you know. In February, you can't do it now. You can't even sign up now. You can only sign up after the second week of February because we're busy doing all these trusts. But the second week of February, we're gonna be in May. We're gonna be in Jekyll's Island. Come on, who's excited? Put excited in the chat. Who's excited about that? We're gonna be in Jekyll's Island in person, live, teaching you for 2 days how to get control. It's the control conference. What? The secrets of the very wealthy. That's it. It's the secrets of the very wealthy, and we're gonna reveal them all. All right. 2 days. We're going hard. Ain't gonna be no bunch of socializing and stuff. I mean, you can socialize on your own when you meet people there and all that. But I'm talking about them classes gonna be intense. You bring a pen, you bring a paper, you be ready to go. All right. And we're gonna teach you how to get control. All right. So I gotta go. I gotta teach some more people in a few seconds here. My announcements are one more time. We are killing the game in cryptocurrency this year. I know you get a bunch of fake people acting like they me, trying to talking to y'all about crypto. Your best thing to do is to take the replay of the class that we just had last week, because we had our live class last week, and click replay if you want it. And we got a program for you to teach you how we buy and selling crypto. All right. We got $1 million program, and then we got a regular program that all y'all can, every last one of you all can do. So if you haven't, what's your question about the book? Yeah, my book is called Control Everything All Nothing. Just that's the first book you want to. If you haven't read that book, just put control in the chat, and we'll send it. And you got to pay for it, but I mean we'll send you a link. All right, Control Everything All Nothing. That's the first book. So just put control in the chat. All right, if that's what you want, and put replay in the chat if you want to learn these cryptos that we're buying. And we got a whole system for you to set up for you, a whole system to set up for you to show you how to buy the cryptos, where to get them from, how to set up accounts, how to make sure nobody take your money, how to stay away from the scammers, all of this stuff. All right. So we got so those are the 2 things that I'm recommending to you. So control if you want my book, replay if you want the crypto. All right. I got to get out of here, y'all. The class is gonna start right now. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Thank God Trump turned he banned the Federal Reserve, and they can't create these digital. So don't worry about that. Ain't no digital dollars going to come up from the Federal Reserve. Get down with this crypto. Get rich. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed in the city. Be blessed in the field. And remember that stellar is as stellar does. Have an outstanding day. God bless you. Have an outstanding day. Have an outstanding day. It's a great year this year, y'all. It's a great year this year. It's a great time to be alive.